Lesson 2. Using the number line to model the addition of integers. Students model integer addition on the number line by using horizontal arrows. For example, an arrow of -2 is a horizontal arrow of a length of 2 pointing in the negative direction, which is left. Students recognize that the length of the arrow on a number line is the absolute value of the integer. Remember, absolute value has the straight up and down bars. Students add arrows, realizing that adding arrows is the same as combining numbers in an integer game. Given several arrows, students indicate the number that the arrow represents, the sum. Suppose you received $10 from your grandmother on your birthday. You spent $4 on snacks. Using addition, how would you write an equation to represent this situation? So you're given 10 plus you're spending $4, so that's $6 left. How would you model your equation on a number line to show your answer? So I start at 0 because we had nothing, and then we go to 10 because that's what Grandma gave us, and then we're spending 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So the answer is 6. Complete the steps to find the sum of -2 plus 3 by filling in the blanks. Model the equation using straight arrows called vectors on the number line below. So A, place the tail of the arrow on 0. Draw an arrow 2 units to the left of 0 and stop at -2. The direction of the arrow is to the left since you are counting down from 0. Start the next arrow at the end of the first arrow or at -2. Draw a second arrow 3 units to the right since you are counting up from -2. So 1, 2, 3. Stop at 1. Circle the number because that's our answer. Now a little bit different, what I like to do is I'll do the straight arrow going to the -2, but if I've got to count, I'll do a curved arrow. So it'll be like 1, 2, 3, and then I'll circle it because it's very easy to miscount on a number line. Repeat the process A through F for the expression 3 plus -2. So I'm going to start at 0. I'm going to go to the 3. And then from the 3, I'm going to go back -2. So 1, 2. So my answer is 1. What can you say about the sum of -2 and 3? And 3 plus -2. Does order matter when adding numbers? Why or why not? -2 plus 3 is the same as 3 plus -2 because they're both equal to 1. The order does not matter when adding numbers because addition is commutative. Expressing absolute values as the length of an arrow on a real number line. How does absolute value determine the arrow length of -2? Use the number line provided to support your answer. So I start at 0, go 2. So now if I just take a look at that, it's the length of 2. 1, 2. So the absolute value of -2 is 2. So the arrow is 2 units long. Because -2 is a negative number, the arrow points to the left. How does absolute value determine the arrow length of 3? Use the number line provided to support your answer. So again, I'll use a different color. So from 0 to 3, so my absolute value is 1, 2, 3 units. Because 3 is positive, the arrow points to the right. Oh, I should have done it on this one. 1, 2, 3. Describe how the absolute value helps you represent -10 on a number line. The absolute value can help me because it tells me how long the arrow should be when starting at 0 on the number line. The absolute value of negative 10 is 10, so my arrow should be 10 units long. So 10 units long, take me right there. Create a number line model to represent each of the expressions below. So negative 6 plus 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, is negative 2. 3 plus negative 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the answer is negative 5. Find the sum of the integers represented in the diagram below. So if I start at 0, I go to 5 plus negative 2 plus 3. So 5 plus negative 2 plus 3. The last where it stops is at 6. What 3 cards are represented in this model? How do you know? The cards are 5, negative 2, and 3 because the arrows show their lengths. In what way does this model differ from the ones used in Lesson 1? In Lesson 1, a movement of 5 units was shown with 5 separate hops. In this lesson, 5 units is shown with 1 total movement with a straight arrow. Both are the same total movements. Can you make a connection between the sum of 6 and where the third arrow ends on the number line? The final position of the third arrow is 6. This means the sum is 6. Would the sum change if we change the order in which we add the numbers? For example, negative 2 plus 3 plus 5. No, because addition is commutative. Order does not matter. Would the diagram change? If so, how? Yes, the first arrow would start at 0 and then move and point left 2. The second arrow would start at negative 2 and point right 3 units. The third arrow would start at 1 and then point 5 units to the right and end on 6. What does the absolute value tell you? The absolute value of a number tell you? The absolute value of a number tells us the length, the length of the arrow, or the distance from 0. And that's the end.